Hi, I'm Kelly King from CRK Training. The topic of today's video is going to be your body position and your body language and how that affects the horse. So they say that even when we're communicating with other people, 80 to 90% of that communication is actually nonverbal, meaning that people are picking up on the way that we're standing, the way that we're moving, and even the energy and the emotion that we're giving off. And with our horses, that's an even higher percentage, because obviously with our horses, we don't really have a lot of verbal communication with them. So I'm going to start with just a really simple exercise to kind of demonstrate how this works. First off, I want you to just take a look at how I'm standing right now. So I've got my weight back on my heels, my shoulders and my chest are dropped, and I've just kind of got a comfortable standing, what I would call like a neutral position. Now I want you to kind of notice how that changes when I just go like this. So notice how even my voice changed a little bit as I kind of got a different position. So the first thing that I did was I took a step forward, I kind of brought my chest up a little bit, and I came more to the balls of my feet. So already I'm standing in a more assertive and a more like action ready, movement ready position. Now if I drop back here, I want you to kind of see and feel how that just takes the pressure off. So I kind of step back, I went from this assertive position to right here. A lot of times when you come back to this position, you'll naturally kind of exhale and relax a little bit. Now also, notice if I start to back up. So I barely even made eye contact with my horse here, with Molly, but just from me backing up, she started to follow that. So when you back away from a horse and you have that pulling feeling where your stomach is kind of pulled in, you know, your shoulders are down, you're backing away, that'll naturally pull a horse towards you. So in the next exercise that I'm going to show you, where I'm going to ask her to back up, this is where a lot of people, especially those new to horses, have a little bit of trouble, because as you're learning, you have to make sure that you're really congruent with the way that you're telling the horse to do something, or the message that you're giving off in the way that you're standing, and also you're giving the same message with your supporting aids, whether that's, you know, you're spinning the end of your rope, or if you're holding a whip. All those things are your supporting aids. And remember, we want the horse to be paying attention to your body language, and then these things basically back up what you tell the horse through your body language. So right now I'm going to ask Molly to back up. So I'm going to start off by getting this more assertive position, and then I'm going to back that up with a little movement from my aids. Good girl. Now when I want her to come towards me, good, I'm going to rock back, and I'm going to go back into that neutral and then that pulling position where I'm right here. And again, see how I didn't even, really look at her and cue her, but they're naturally drawn to that. So you can see what the challenge would be if you're trying to, say, get a horse out of your space, or even if you're trying to like lunge a horse and you're trying to get them to move away from you, but you're backing up. So if you're doing this and you're trying to get a horse out of your space, but you're backing away, it's incongruent, because your body is pulling the horse towards you, but you're using your aids and your intent is to try to get the horse away. So that's where you can run into problems. So you have to be really careful if you're dealing with a horse, especially that tends to be pushy, or just a horse that you feel like they're just too close to you. You want to make sure that you make that message clear to the horse by having an assertive body position and backing up that position with the supporting aids. And then the same thing, if you're always up here and you're always nervous and tight, it can help your horse a lot to relax and to feel closer and more comfortable with you if you can do this. Take a step back, rock back to your heels, take a deep breath and relax a little bit. So this stuff is pretty simple, but it's really important. And most of the time you can kind of instinctually figure out what message you're probably giving with your body and how you're standing if you're aware of it. But the first step is just becoming aware of it and thinking about it when you're with your horse. How am I standing right now? What is my presence telling the horse? Not just, how am I moving my hands and my feet to try to get him to do something. So I hope that's really clear. Another thing that I'm going to show you that pull again. So I also tell people to think about this as like the pull and the push. So your pull is here. This is actually a good exercise. See if you can pull your horse towards you without pulling the rope. You're just pulling them like there was an invisible string. And you're trying to get their nose to come right here towards your stomach. That's your pull. And then your push is right here. And she's not quite as tuned in as I'd like her to be. So when I'm pushing, today I'm having to back it up a little bit more. But make sure that you're really, again, congruent and consistent. So also, you know, every time that you ask that horse to back away, you need to be coming up here. And also, if you're up here and you're already in a more assertive position, you need to be aware if that horse is ignoring that and just coming right over to you, because that could be a red flag too, that either the horse isn't paying attention, or that horse is used to being a little bit more pushy or a little bit more dominant, and he's ignoring that cue that you're giving. In that case, you need to be ready to back it up with a little bit more of, again, you know, your lead rope or your whip or whatever, to make sure that you make that boundary clear. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. This is actually a topic that I love to talk about. I think it's so interesting thinking about how much our communication is nonverbal and how those little subtleties make such a difference, both in our, you know, interpersonal communication with other people, and then certainly with our horses as well. So I'd love to get your thoughts on this topic, and if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments below. And also, if you're watching this video anywhere else, make sure that you go to crktrainingblog.com. That's where most of the conversation happens on the videos. And also, we've got tons of other great riding and training videos over at the blog for you as well. So I'll look forward to seeing you in the comments.